Coming to you from Washington, D.C. Covering the latest in sports and pop culture. This is the Nik Nak Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Nik Nak Podcast, a Nik Nak Podcast YouTube channel. This is going to be our Week 6 game picks.
Week 6, you believe that?
Week 6. We're going to be going through the game lines. First, we went ahead and made our guesses on what the lines would be, and then we're going to go ahead and reveal what the actual line is, and then make our pick against the spread for you guys. So, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for tuning into the YouTube channel. Let's get started with Broncos at Chargers Thursday night.
First off, I gotta say Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. I feel like it's always terrible games. Even if this game doesn't seem that bad, it's just the games that seem that they're gonna be good.
At this point, I'm watching Carrie Underwood sing Sunday night, and that's about it. Thursday night's gonna be a shit show. It always is.
We have Broncos at the Chargers.
Broncos at Chargers. Yep.
I guess Broncos favorites by 4.5.
Young Buck, Paxton Lynch.
I assume that Trevor Simeon's coming back.
Yes.
We saw that Paxton Lynch was not the guy.
Yeah.
So you guys 5.5, a little higher, but a little more rich than me. Why did you think 5.5?
So, I mean, I did think about Trevor Simeon coming back. It's just this is such a dominant team that Denver's been all year, despite their loss to the Falcons this past week. The Chargers just find ways to shoot themselves in the foot, and that's against bad teams.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Like, against teams that aren't that good.
They've had like
4.
Yeah, 4, right?
4. It's just awful. It's a new way every week, and this past week was I don't even remember. I don't even know what it was this past week, but it's just been.
Let's just say they should have. They could be like 4-1 right now.
They could be, but
they're 1-4.
Like, I feel bad for Phil Rivers. On top of that, to add insult to injury, literally a new superstar drops every week. The one bright spot so far has been the fact that Joey Bosa came back this week and balled out.
I was surprised.
He balled out.
I wasn't as sold at him beforehand. I mean, he had 2 sacks. He was causing havoc right off the first game. Yeah, and I think it was a great game for him, but at the same time, the Broncos' defense is just too dominant. Trevor Simeon has been great this season. Their running game is going. And even though they're on the road in San Diego, I still think the Broncos are that heavy of a favorite, even on the road. Yeah, Vegas has Broncos favored by 3 on the road. It's a little less than us, and I think part of that is uncertainty with Trevor Simeon. We don't know if he's going to play.
And also,
it's trending towards that, right?
And also their head coach is going to be out. He went to the hospital.
Yeah.
He went to the hospital and checked out. Everything's fine, but he's going to miss this game. I think the line probably has a lot to do with. Why am I blanking on his name? Seriously.
Oh, Kubiak.
Kubiak. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna be back. He's not gonna be back this week, but hopefully he gets better.
San Diego is one of the worst teams to bet on because you never know what San Diego team are gonna.
They're talented. They're a really talented team. The fact that they have this record and this luck is baffling.
I mean, even without Woodhead and Gates and Keenan Allen, they still find a way to score. Like they're one of the top 5 scoring teams. It's just insane. The 3 best options arguably are out.
Exactly, and they played a lot of very talented offensive teams, and they've had to keep up with them. Unfortunately, things just haven't bounced their way at the end.
So what's your pick? You're riding Denver, right?
I'm taking Denver. If it's 3 points, then yeah, I'm definitely taking Denver.
Yeah, I don't see with Von Miller and Shane Ray and that whole defense. I think they're pissed off of losing against Atlanta, and Atlanta is probably better than we thought. And I think they're going to come back with vengeance to take it out on Phil Rivers.
Yeah, we'll talk about Atlanta a little bit later.
So we both like Denver with the first game.
We both like Denver in this one.
Again, Thursday Night Football sucks, so.
Yeah.
Flip a coin.
I mean, I'll be watching anyway. But, okay, moving on. 49ers announced today that Colin Kaepernick is going to be their starting quarterback when they visit the Buffalo Bills and Rex Ryan this week.
Over under 2 knees.
I'm going to go.
You're going to get 1 knee at opening kickoff.
Yeah.
And you get a knee for winning the game, conceding defeat.
I'm going to go. We'll get to that in a little bit. I went with Bills -1 in this game, and I literally think that these teams on paper are not that far apart. I think the Bills have gotten some fortunate performances. They beat the Patriots 16-0 2 weeks ago with a one-handed quarterback, but I don't think that 49ers are all that bad. I think that Colin Kaepernick coming back might be the spark the team needs, and I think that they could have put up a fight. And you guessed -4 on this one. And you were a lot closer than I was because it was -7.5. So Vegas is not on the 49ers for this one at all.
This is definitely not a Naks lock.
This is not a Naks lock, no.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Buffalo. I think you hate Buffalo for some reason. I realize.
I do hate Buffalo.
You're not a Rex Ryan fan. You're not a Tyrod Taylor fan.
Nope.
You don't like their receivers without Sammy Watkins. The only offense is Shady McCoy.
I do like Shady. Shady's growing on me.
So, what are your expectations for Kaepernick? Because, I mean, when's the last time we played competitive football? It's been like two and a half years?
It's been
almost 1.5
It's been about 2 years now. I think earlier today I was comparing him to Jumbo Mike Vick. Yeah. Really fast, strong arm. Only signature playoff performance was against the Packers where he ran all over them.
And I bet on the Packers in that game. That game hurts me.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
And then, but
he ran for like 180 yards. He broke like the record that game.
I think he might be a pleasant change. I think the person that benefits the most from this is Carlos Hyde, which I'm very happy about as someone who's heavily invested in Carlos Hyde in fantasy football.
I mean, if Curley and Torrey Smith are your top receivers, just run the ball every time.
Yeah.
Just run the ball every time. just don't throw the ball.
So, I'm going to go with San Francisco in this game because I think 7.5 points is way too much. Who are you taking?
Yeah, 7.5 was way too much. I mean, I guess 4 and 7.5, it's kind of disrespect. I mean, San Francisco hasn't been that bad under Chip Kelly. I mean, obviously losing NaVorro Bowman's huge off the defense. But I think the change at quarterbacks might, generate some spark for the offense and the defense. I think his running ability alone will help a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Tyrod Taylor. Not that I trust Kaepernick, but I'm gonna take the 7.5. They lose by a touchdown, we still win. So I ride you. I don't ride you, but I'm on San Francisco. I
wouldn't let you.
Well.
So okay, moving on. The home team. The Washington Redskins host the Philadelphia Eagles this week, and Carson Wentz comes to town. Yeah. Rookie phenom. I honestly thought that the loss by the Eagles to the Lions last week and the win by the Redskins over the Ravens would have balanced things out a little bit. I said -1 in favor of the Redskins. You said -1.5 in favor of the Redskins. Vegas does not agree. They're taking Redskins +2 in this one.
Absolutely blasphemy. I cannot believe this. I'm really shocked at this. I mean, all bias aside, I'm not biased at all.
No,
but
not at all.
Like, we go on the road against a 3-1 team, the best defensive team in terms of yards given up, and we beat them at their home turf.
Yep.
And we're underdogs at home against a division rival. I mean, if it was a pick'em, I'll be okay. Maybe a 1-point favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, we both guessed us being small favorites, but I'm kind of shocked here. Then again, Vegas makes the lines on what they think the public will bet on, which I understand. If I'm Ren guy in Kentucky, I probably think
you're riding the Wentz wagon, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously.
Better defense, probably even better quarterback this year. If you think about it.
I don't agree. I think that Wentz is great. He's done what the offense has asked him to do. For a rookie, he's been very, very good. At the same time, he has not been going downfield almost at all. When he does, Jordan Matthews drops the pass. And at the same time, I don't think Kirk has been much worse. Yes, Kirk has had his growing pains being the focal point of the offense. He's had his growing issues with that. But the last few weeks, the offense has been coming around. We're running the ball better. The offensive line has been performing better. The defense has been great in the second half, making adjustments. I don't think that's going to change all of a sudden this week. Yes, the Eagles run the ball very well. Yes, they have Zach Ertz, which having good tight ends is the best way to beat the Redskins because we can not cover tight ends to save our life for some reason.
And I think some people are probably listening are like, oh, Kirk's throwing so many interceptions. It's because we're asking him to make throws that Doug Peterson is not asking Carson Wentz to make.
Exactly. He's not.
And Kirk's been put in a position where it's 3rd and 1, and we're throwing the ball.
Deep.
Not even
short.
running the ball, smash mouth Ryan Matthews.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's 100%.
And if it's not Ryan Matthews, it's Wendell Smallwood. If it's not Wendell Smallwood, it's Darren Sproles. If it's not Darren Sproles, it's whoever the fourth guy
and if
is.
it's not that fourth guy, they're doing a play action with Ertz, and it's like a 2-yard pass.
Yeah.
They're playing it conservative.
Yeah, and Wentz, all the props in the world to him, he's completing those passes. Good for him. He has a very bright future in the league. I don't think it starts now. I don't think it starts this week. I think NFC East is a battle, and I think that's going to be a lot closer than we think. And spotting the Redskins 2 points is a line that I'm going to take, and I'm going to take the Redskins this week.
Yeah, and it may seem like a homer pick. I think the Redskins at home. If we're on the road, I may take Philadelphia to win it outright. But I think at home, we're riding the momentum. I think our momentum is feeding for us. And I think the best of our offense is yet to be seen.
I think so, too.
I mean, Deshaun has no touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his former team. Is he going to get a touchdown?
He's going to get a touchdown. Absolutely.
This is the game. No matter what, he's going to get a touchdown.
Put him in your FanDuel lineups. Look out for that video later this week. He will be in my 50-50 video.
Check out, we did a Redskins full segment with Burgundy Blog and a lot of other Redskins contributors. So
yeah, so
great stuff coming.
Check out that podcast early. Going to be coming out tomorrow, probably on Wednesday. Yeah. So take a look at that. And moving on to the best game of the week, the Browns at the Titans.
Oh my God!
I think that we all know how much of a barn burner that's going to be. Clipboard Jesus is out in Cleveland. So
Whitehurst lasted a long time.
He did. So who knows what's going to happen there?
He beat us last year.
He did.
Titans. That's what was scorned by him.
They didn't give him a chance to have his revenge game against Tennessee. So this week they traveled there. Me and you both guessed the same line. We both guessed Titans -4. Even then, we're undershooting it. We did not pick the first 4 games well at all. Vegas thinks it's Titans -7.5. No faith in the Browns even versus the Titans.
The Titans should not be favored in any game by a touchdown plus.
Yeah.
There's no reason why. There's no reason why. I mean, so Mariota had 4 touchdowns last week, and we live in a what have you done recently society, right?
Yeah.
He balled out last week.
He did.
We saw the good Mariota. We've seen the bad one too.
Yeah, we have.
Not that the Browns defense is scary, but what makes you think that's going to translate to this week? Now, I like DeMarco Murray. I think he's running the ball very well.
DeMarco Murray's a monster.
Top 3 running back right now.
Derrick Henry's just wasting space on my bench right now. Yeah. So much for lottery tickets.
He may get his turn, but it may not be anytime soon. I don't know. I mean, this game's tough, but the 7.5, that's just too high.
So I'm going to guess that you're going with Cleveland on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cleveland.
I'm actually going to take the Titans. I think that this is going to be a good Mariota game. I think Cleveland is going to hit that, what's it worth playing this hard for?
Hit that dab.
Not that. No. I'm saying they're going to hit that mood soon of why are we doing this anymore? And I think that's coming soon. And I'm not sure if it'll come this week, but I still think the Titans have that much more firepower than the Browns do. I think they cover the 7.5.
Wow. Yeah. All right. I'm on the Browns losing by less than 7.5.
All right. So
we'll see how that works.
A matchup of the last 2 teams that the Redskins have beaten. Or sorry, no, 2 of the last 3 teams that the Redskins have beaten. The Ravens visit the Giants at the Meadowlands this week. You nailed it at -3. That's the line. I said -2.5, so I was close. Odell Beckham's finally having fun again, dude. Aren't you happy for him?
Man, were you surprised?
He's hugging nets. He's
Yeah, when he went up to that and kissed it with the net, were you surprised?
He's smiling at the camera. He's having fun again, dude. Like,
get over yourself. No one really cares about that much.
Yeah. So the offense was moving last week against Green Bay, even though they lose. Rashad Jennings came back. They're still riding Orleans Darkwa. The Ravens, though, fired the offensive coordinator this week. Mark Trestman's out, who for some reason decided that he wanted to stop running the ball when Terrence West was carving up the Redskins defense last week. Yeah. And they want to go back to their offense of short passes and hope for pass interference deep. So what do you think about this game?
So yeah, I guess right on the money. I consider these teams even. So the Giants are 2-3. Ravens are 3-2. I think Ravens 3-2, part of the schedule partially. I like the Ravens in the spot, and I think both of the offenses are completely inconsistent. They want to run the ball, but as Knuckle alluded to earlier, they quickly just abandon the run and throw the ball, and we know how that is as Redskins fans. The difference lies with the defense. We've seen firsthand, Ravens defense is really good.
It's good.
We scored 1 touchdown against them. Don't keep it twisted. Like we scored 1 on special teams. We scored 1 on 1 field goal, and then we scored 1 touchdown on a punt return. That defense is special. That defense is pretty good. I mean, their secondary is not as good as it used to, but their front seven's as good as it comes.
No, it is.
So I'm going to ride the Ravens on this one.
You're going to ride the Ravens? This is my Knox lock of the week.
The Giants.
I'm going with the Giants.
The G-Men!
The G-Men. I think that Odell having fun is going to be the difference in this game.
I thought he had fun last weekend. What happened?
No, that's a
fun
that's a different game. It's against the Packers.
It takes a week to get fun, right?
Yeah, you have fun, and then you feel the effects of it later, and that's what's going to happen this week. So I think I'm going to take the Giants at home. I think they're going to be fired up to be back after playing in Lambeau last week. I think that their offense performs a little bit better than the Ravens' offense does, I think they cover those 3 points. They don't even need it. They cover those 3 points and they win. They win by more than a field goal in this game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a tight game, and it's two teams at the end of the year are going to be fighting for a wild card, in my opinion. So this is a big game.
Yeah. So, all right, now we're going to move to a matchup of two of the more disappointing teams this year. The Panthers at the Saints. Cam Newton doesn't play on Monday night. They lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who missed almost every field goal they ever took. Jameis Winston didn't have a passing yard until the fourth quarter.
Aguayo?
Yeah. And you knew what was going to happen. You knew it, despite the fact that their kicker had missed 2 field goals in the game already, Dirk Cutter still didn't trust Jameis Winston to drive down and win the game.
And funny part is, on that note, is that the same token is that Ron Rivera trusted his defense as he called timeouts.
Yeah.
And he got burned.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to get the ball back. I'm going to score.
You're going to score.
And you gave Jameis time, and you saw what Jameis did to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, this isn't about the Bucs. Let's talk about the Panthers and the Saints. Cam Newton should be back this week. He'll ride in the stadium on a scooter. And
no helmet.
No helmet.
Helmet in postgame.
A helmet postgame. That's a lot. That's the Knox lock of the week. Cam Newton will wear a helmet to the postgame press conference.
That's a lock too.
So Panthers at Saints. I called it Saints minus 2.5. You called it a pick'em. You were right. It is a pick'em. It's almost like you knew that or something. But
no, this one was. This was so obviously if Cam Newton's healthy, they're favored.
Yeah.
On the road, the Saints they're good at home, but Cam Newton, especially when they're 1-4, this is a must-win for them. So they would be favored, but we don't know if Cam Newton's going to play. I think he will play.
I think he's going to play. If he hasn't been cleared while we've been recording this video, he's going to be cleared tomorrow probably. So, in this game, I think it's pretty obvious we're both going to take Carolina here and New Orleans.
I want to ask you because I don't know what their front seven's almost pretty much the same. I mean, Edey's there. I mean, Thomas Davis is there. Luke Kuechly's there. What's the difference? I mean, yeah, okay, they lost Josh Norman and some players in the secondary like Tillman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people are running with Keith Rogers right up the middle. What is up with that?
I wish I had the answer. I think losing Norman has a lot to do with it. I think that they thought that their scheme is enough to make forced turnovers on the edges and everything, but it's not. Yeah. And they for some reason Bené Benwickery got let go after he got torched by Julio Jones. Yep. Like it was his fault completely.
Yeah, it wasn't the play caller's fault to add a safety help or double team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just completely playing man-to-man with the best receiver in the NFL.
It's on this one guy who you were trotting out as your number one corner for a long time instead of Josh Norman. I wish I had the answer, but I don't. I think the Panthers defense is good. I think they'll get back to it, but right now they just don't have their bite. And yeah, so I think they go into New Orleans. So
I think you like the Carolina with Cam Newton playing.
Yes.
Without Cam Newton, you still like Carolina at pick them?
I would take New Orleans without Cam Newton.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think Cam comes back. He's coming with vengeance. This is where he runs for like 2 touchdowns and throws for like 2. I think he has a monster game.
Yeah.
I think there's no way against the Saints defense. The high scoring game. I don't have the over in front of me, but take the over on that because that game's gonna be.
It's gonna be a scorcher. Yep. So no one does mid-season matchups like the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars, my second favorite team, visit the Chicago Bears in Chicago. And you guessed the line would be -2. I guessed -4. I was closer. It's -3.5. Jordan Howard has been pretty great the last few weeks. I think he's making a lot of fantasy owners pretty happy right now. Brian Hoyer's been in. Kevin White's out for the season, but Meredith is a surprise of this weekend probably.
Very good fantasy pickup.
Yeah, definitely.
You may not want to start him this week, but stash him. You never know what happens.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely an intriguing player. This Bears team, I think they're also another team that's probably on the verge of giving up for the season.
Yeah, and I agree, but at the same time, they've been looking so much better with Brian Hoyer. And if you're Houston, we'll talk about Houston later, but they wish they had Hoyer right now. I mean, Brock is not getting the deal done. Hoyer's running a competent offense. Last 3 weeks in fantasy, Hoyer's been a top 5 quarterback. He put me 24 points in the center scoring league last week, and because I needed a fill-in for Russell Wilson. So, Brian Hoyer can run his offense.
He can, absolutely.
Now, they didn't win against the Colts, but that's a different story. I mean, he's making them competitive. So, I mean, in this game, Jaguars have been largely disappointing. I don't know. You were big on them. What do you think is the flaw with them, why they haven't reached expectations?
I think it's very similar to what's going on with the Redskins this year, where Kirk Cousins is out there pretending like to be the focal point of the offense. Right. Well, he is the focal point of the offense. The coaching staff has put that on him. In a similar way, Jacksonville has put that focus on Blake Bortles. Yep. Last year, they were largely a running team behind T.J. Yeldon and shoestrings Denard Robinson. This year, Bortles has been asked to make more plays. Still hasn't thrown many first quarter touchdowns. Trying to get out there and make things happen. Can't do it yet. Allen Robinson's been disappointing so far, at least as a fantasy option. Allen Hurns has not been what he was last year.
Right.
I think that turns around. I think that Bortles and those wide receivers are too good collectively for this to continue. And I think that they do that. They continue that into Chicago this week, and they beat the Bears and cover those points.
I actually think that comparison was great because I think as Jay Gruden sees Jordan Reed, Deshaun, and Pierre, that's how Gus Bradley sees Allen Robinson, Julius Thomas.
Exactly.
And
there's too many weapons for him to be.
The last one, Allen Hurns.
Allen Hurns.
So,
yeah.
But I think the key for them, just as for us, is to run the ball. I mean,
exactly.
They haven't utilized Chris Ivory. I know he's been in and out of the lineup, but like that's big for them. I mean, he's a downhill runner. Get him involved. Use Yeldon as a change of pace. Yeldon's been a disappointment. Then again, he's not getting that many carries.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with 10 carries?
And coming off a bye, I think they're gonna be fresh. I think they're gonna be ready to go. I think this is the week that we finally see some of that talent start to come out of Jacksonville. So
I mean, Jaguars are a much more talented team than the Bears. I can see the Bears winning, but at the same time, I'm not gonna bet on them. I'm gonna ride the Jaguars on this one.
You're gonna take Jacksonville too. All right, so the LA Rams go to Detroit to visit the Lions. You said -2.5. I said -2. The line was -3. So you got closer on this one. What do you think of the Lions? First they were the hot offensive team coming out this year under Jim Bob Cooter. Then they go down. All of a sudden they beat the hottest team in the country in the Eagles last week.
Yep.
Hand Carson Wentz's first interception. I don't know what to think of the Lions. I really don't.
I mean, so these are two teams you really don't know what to think about, right?
Yeah.
The Rams are one team that's like a mystery. I mean, they're
exactly.
rolling out Case Keenum, but they're the winning record. They're on top of their division.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tied with the Seahawks, but still, I mean, they're winning games. So these are two teams you never know what to get for. Detroit and the Rams. I like the Rams defense. The Rams defense is consistent, but their offense is just a question mark. Like they get Tavon Austin involved in one game. Next game they give the ball to Gurley.
They better get Tavon Austin involved. They're paying him a lot of money.
It's just this game is a stay away, and the Lions are coming off a big win against home against the Eagles. I mean, they beat a 3-0 team at home that went down to the wire. Really showed their gut. I mean, Stafford had a game-winning touchdown to Marvin Jones in the back of the end zone, and we've seen Stafford do that. And Stafford's one of the guys is like you see flashes of like greatness, but he's never been able to like compose it all.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I trust Stafford more than Case Keenum. Keenum may have a better defense, but I like the offense, and I think they're doing a good job of getting Theo Riddick involved. They just signed Justin Forsett, by the way.
They did.
So I don't know. What do you think about Forsett? You think he's going to be a contributor immediately?
I don't know about immediately. They do really still like Dwayne Washington, who's coming back from an ankle injury. Well, I think they might see how he does first, because I can't imagine that there's much guaranteed money in Forsett's contract right now. So I think they're going to wait to see what they have in the young kid first, and then they'll bring in Forsett if that doesn't work out.
Yeah. So I like the Lions by 3 at home. What do you like?
I like the Lions as well at home. So I think that this offense is good. I think I'm going to trust Matt Stafford more than I trust any Jeff Fisher-led team. You know, Jeff Fisher's keeping it 500 in St. Louis this year, so he's bound to correct to the mean a little bit. So I'm going to go with Detroit.
Perspective, even though I agree with you, the Rams have beaten Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Arizona. Three arguably playoff teams. Maybe Tampa Bay is an uprising team, but those are 3 playoff teams.
Shocking.
I mean, I don't believe it either, but it's.
I mean, Tampa Bay barely beat a Cam Newton-less Panthers the other night, and
Though. I mean, I don't know. Tampa Bay's not a bad.
That was one of the sloppiest performances that I've ever seen. I went into that game with Mike Evans and Jameis Winston starting against Greg Olsen, tied.
Oh, yeah, you lost.
And then no, it was tied. And I'm like, okay, even if Jameis Winston and Mike Evans have average games, I got this on lock. Greg Olsen balls out at one point in the fourth quarter. I'm down by 10.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston throws a touchdown to Mike Evans, so that I go up by 2 at that point. At the same time, it should never come down to that. Even like Jameis Winston should be making more plays than that at this point in his career. and he just hasn't been. And the pass defense down there has been god awful. They were another team that I thought would be on the rise this year.
Yeah,
I think they're still a few pieces away.
Tampa's on a bye this week, so we can talk a little bit about them before we move on.
Yeah.
Game. They're like the perfect Jekyll and Hyde. Like they'll do so well. James Smith over 4 or 5 touchdowns, and then for week 1 he threw for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And we're like, Jameis took the next leap.
He's here, man.
Next week
this is it.
4 interceptions.
Yeah.
And that is Jameis for you. Obviously, I mean, when Jaquise Rogers is your running back, even though he played really well, I don't know. Maybe they're missing Doug Martin. Their defense has been pretty solid.
One of my coworkers told me today, he was like, I didn't know Jaquise Rogers was still in the league. Yeah. Neither did I. So
Sims is on the IR, so he may see
a lot more. You'll see a lot more Rodgers now. So moving on to the Steelers at the Dolphins. This is a game that me and you were pretty close on. You said Dolphins +5. I said Dolphins +6. I was closer. It's Dolphins +7.5. This defense has just been terrible. They're ready to give up on Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
They're starting Jay Ajayi at running back with Arian Foster out. They don't know what kind of team they want to be at this point. They've gone from running back by committee to one running back to putting the game in Tannehill's hands to being a defensive team all throughout the season, and they realize they're really not good at any of those.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know their identity. I think you hit the nail right where it lasts. They don't know what they are. And their defense is a question mark. Like, and Ndamukong Suh's not the guy from old. They have a lot of issues everywhere. And if you look at Pittsburgh, besides that obscure loss at Philadelphia, which is I feel like it's just one of those games where they came out flat and they're just like, all right, we're not going to win this game, we're going to rebound. Every other game they look near to unstoppable on offensive threats. I mean, last game was a little rusty. You saw Sammy Coates kind of pull it out at the end, but there are options when Sammy Coates is getting you 2 touchdowns and you have Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and I know you love Le'Veon Bell.
I do love Le'Veon Bell.
He's filled in, looking amazing, and he's playing a lot of slot receiver. He's doing everything, man. He's the best running back in the NFL.
He's exactly what you thought he would be. Like he was the top 10 receiver in the league in last week.
Right.
And on top of that, he had 60 yards on the ground. You love that. That's consistent production that you're. That's the reason why D'Angelo Williams hit the bench.
Right.
So who do you have in this game?
Yeah, I don't see how Pittsburgh is going to run away with this, and I think this is a great opportunity. I think that's a good bet. It's not my lock of the week, but I like it.
So I'm taking the Dolphins.
Oh no.
I don't think that they win the game.
But they lose by less than a touchdown.
They lose by less than a touchdown, and the reason is the things that the Steelers are bad at covering are exactly the 2 things that Ryan Tannehill can do well. It's those short, quick passes to Jarvis Landry, and they can run the ball on the edge. I think that J.J. started hitting his stride a little bit last week now that he was getting most of the carries.
You love Ajayi.
I do love Ajayi.
No bias there. But one thing I'm going to ask you, Jarvis Landry had 3 targets last week.
Yes.
I agree with you. Jarvis Landry's a playmaker. You got to give him the ball.
Yeah.
So is Tannehill going to focus and give him more than 3 targets?
Oh, definitely.
What receiver's going to do anything with 3 targets?
Definitely. I think this is going to be a good week for Jarvis Landry. I think that they get close. They get close in this game.
Keep it competitive.
And also, Ben Roethlisberger is not as good. He's not Drew Brees bad on the road, but he's not going to throw 5 or 6 touchdowns. Ben Roethlisberger on the road, and I think that in this game they find a way to keep it kind of close. And I think the Dolphins might surprise us and cover that 7.5.
So no surprise there. 80% of Vegas is on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's always Vegas' favorite. People love betting on a lot of points. So I'm on Pittsburgh. Nuts on Miami. We'll see what happens. I think that wraps up the 1 p.m. games. No, we have one more.
So Cincinnati,
One more.
fresh off their loss to Dallas in a game that was a complete blowout, visits Tom Brady and the Patriots at home. And if you watched the Cleveland-New England game last week, that was pretty much a New England home game.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought it was a New England home game when I saw an Instagram post of people yelling Brady chants.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, they're on the road?
They're on the road, and I think
they're 10-point favorites on the road.
I think if there's ever been a home field advantage in the NFL, it's going to be this week at Foxborough.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Did Brady play that well, or were the Browns that bad?
Both, man. He threw for over 400 yards.
Was it Martellus Bennett open on 3 plays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to hit him. Yeah, you got to, it's just
Yeah, you find the guy. I mean, we complain about Kirk Cousins missing those passes all the time. But, I mean, Tom Brady came in, surgically picked them apart, took what was there.
And what's scary is Edelman didn't have a big game. Gronk did. He didn't get the end zone, but Gronk looked like the old Gronk. I mean, he had like 100 yards and like 6-7 receptions. So,
exactly.
I mean, that's New England for you. They got Nikovich back, and everything's working well for them.
Yeah, so you said Patriots minus 6.5. I said Patriots minus 7.5. It's Patriots minus 8.5, so I got closer on that one. I'm just going to keep it short. I'm taking the Patriots. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think that environment's going to be crazy, and I think that they win this.
I'm having a hard... So, obviously, like, 82% is on New England, and I understand why. Tom Brady's angry. He wants to kill the world. What's wrong with Cincinnati? I mean, like, their kind of core nucleus, besides maybe Marvin Jones, is still intact from last year. Like, what's the difference?
Mohamed Sanu's gone. They still can't figure out who their running back is. Hugh Jackson's gone. They did.
But they were, like, so good. Like, their defense was so good. They gave up...
I'm gonna take a moment to shout out Roto World. You don't need to tell us who the starting running back for Cincinnati is every week. You're wrong every single time.
It's like Gio's
Please stop telling us that. You're screwing up fantasy lives everywhere. Not that I'm listening, but I know people that are, and they keep asking us why they shouldn't start Gio Bernard or why they shouldn't start Jeremy Hill.
It's so funny when like Gio does bad one week, Jeremy Hill does good. You start Jeremy Hill next week, and it's a Gio.
It's the other way around. Yes. If you have one of those two, trade them, please. Get them out here. And Roto World, please stop telling people that one of them's gonna be the starter because you're always wrong.
If you have one of those two, just print out a lineup of your fantasy team, get a match, light it on fire, and move on with your life.
Yes, please do that. So, anyways, I mean, I've already said I'm taking New England. Who are you taking here?
Yeah, I wanted to pick Cincy, but I have no reason to think so. New England at home too. If New England was on the road, I'll give Cincy some credit, but something's wrong with Cincy. I think Marvin Lewis is getting fired after this year. I think this is his final stay. I don't think they.
You think this is it? You think this is it? All right. Well,
you think he stays?
No, I don't. I mean, I can't make a decision yet. I think it's too early. Marvin's earned that respect to at least finish out the season.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's fired during the season. I think this was last year though.
So, moving on to one of the hotter teams in the NFL, the Raiders host the Chiefs at home. Me and you were very favorable to the Raiders in this line. I said minus 4.5. You said minus 4, and Vegas thinks it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising because I mean, we know Chiefs played much better at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
On the road, they've been kind of inconsistent this year. Jamal Charles, I mean, he's active, but he's not active. You know,
we've really only seen one game of Jamal Charles, so. Not even. But now he's at a bye week. He's back. I think this is going to be the week where he really, really emerges in this game. The Raiders have been performing well. Amari Cooper finally decided to join the party last week. Caught 1 touchdown. Probably should have caught 3 more. Had 1 foot out of bounds on probably 3 end zone passes, or got pushed out of bounds and caught it in bounds. Things like that. That just freak things that just went wrong. And in this game, I'm not sure what to think of this. Who's your pick here?
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be Raiders by 4 at home, and you said 4.5. It's a pick 'em, which is kind of surprising. I mean,
it is.
I mean, like we said at Arrowhead, Oakland has been really good this year. I mean, they're 4-1. Their only loss is against the Falcons.
Yeah,
and like the Falcons could be arguably a top 3.
Now we know who they are.
I mean, that was their one loss, and they lost by a touchdown. So. I was listening to Trent Dilfer the other day. He was saying like, Derek Carr, Derek Carr could be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
The way he's playing, he's just like slinging it, and he just takes command of the whole offense. It's unbelievable. I mean, I think he's very underrated. I think Crabtree's having a great year. Amari Cooper's having a great year, and Jack Del Rio really got the best out of his players this year.
Black Jack Del Rio, man, he's the new Ron Rivera.
I mean, like, what do you think about KC, though? KC, I mean, like, they're so talented. They're not a sexy team on offense, but, I mean, they have all the pieces. I mean, as much as you see Oakland win this game, I can see KC winning it.
It's similar to Pittsburgh getting Le'Veon Bell back. They need Jamal Charles. Spencer Ware was good, but at the same time, Jamal Charles was the heart and soul of that team.
But so let me ask you something. Last year when they went on that run, they had Chark-Kendrick West and
Spencer Ware, yeah.
But they had Justin Houston and Tamba Ali. That was the team. And Eric Berry seems like he might have lost a step. I don't know. But I think the defense led them through that. And they
those
don't
pieces
have
aren't
the same
there.
defense anymore.
No, that bite's gone. They're not that dominant defense that we knew them to be. And that's why I'm going to pick Oakland this week.
I mean, yeah, I think they're losing Justin Houston. That's a big loss. You get Oakland as a pick-em at home. I think that's a lot of value. I think it seems like a fishy line. I'm a little scared it's got to go as line. I feel like Oakland should be favored. Don't you think so?
I think they should be.
at home?
At home, yeah.
But doesn't that second-guess your pick? Because it's like, doesn't Vegas know something?
Vegas might, but I'm still going to go with Oakland.
Yeah,
I think that
rational thing. I'm going to take KC. Fuck it. I remember so many times.
All right, so next up, the team we mentioned briefly just now, the Falcons head to Seattle to visit the Seahawks, coming off a bye.
Wow.
Falcons shocked Denver last week. People kind of thought that would be the correction game for them,
Right.
and it wasn't. So, what do you think about this game with Seattle coming off a bye?
So I had the game at Seahawks by 2.5. You had it at 1, and the spread at 6.
That's disrespectful.
It is, especially when you beat the defending champs on the road. I know it's a backup quarterback, rookie quarterback, but still, I mean, that defense was still the same. And
I just realized they played both Super Bowl teams in the back-to-back weeks and beat both of them.
Beat both of them convincingly.
Yeah,
I mean, it was they pretty much had the game most of it. This game, it's interesting, right? I mean, Seattle at home, they're not the same at home, but they're still a force at home.
They're still a force at home,
especially coming off a bye. It seems like right before they reached that bye, Russell Wilson was kind of hitting his.
Starting to get healthy.
Russell Wilson's been banged up all year.
Jimmy Graham was coming back to the party.
Jimmy Graham has been huge. People are not talking enough about Jimmy Graham. I'm not saying he's looking like the Jimmy Graham of 2012, but he's darn close.
He's getting close, yeah.
And with Tyler Lockett, with like his injury, he's playing but he's banged up, and Doug Baldwin being your only threat, he's filled in that niche. And their running game's inconsistent. I mean, Michael did really well last couple games.
Yeah.
See, they're dedicated to it. This game's really tough for me. Who do you like? I know they're disrespecting Atlanta here.
They are, and I can't.
But people love Seattle at home, though.
They do. I can't pick against Atlanta anymore. I think that until they prove me wrong.
I've been the Kyle Shanahan Gatorade.
I've been picking against them for the last few weeks and been wrong every time. I can't do it anymore. I gotta go with Atlanta.
You know what's funny? Their only losses against Tampa Bay, and they beat Oakland, which we talked about.
Yeah.
They beat Carolina. They beat Denver, and they beat New Orleans at home, which is a tough win.
Yeah.
Those are 4 marquee wins. I mean,
they are.
I'm not like sold on their defense. At the same time, Seattle has a lot of issues on the offensive line. I don't think the defense has the same swagger as before. And for all those reasons, I'm going to take Seattle. So I think Russell Wilson's getting healthy. I think Russell Wilson has a field day.
So, the Dak Bowl, Cowboys visit the Packers. This is the game that everyone kind of has circled now.
Oh, man.
If the Cowboys win this game, this is where they really have to start thinking about whether or not they're going to leave him in for Tony Romo. I guess Packers minus 5.5. You guess Packers minus 4. You nailed it. It's Packers minus 4 in this game. Packers coming off a win on Monday night Sunday night against the Giants.
Yep.
And
Dallas coming off a big win against Cincinnati.
Yep.
Ran all over them.
So, I mean, I gotta. What would you do in this situation if Dak beats Green Bay or even plays them tough? Let's say he plays them tough, and it comes down to maybe like a last Aaron Rodgers drive or something like that to win the game. What are you doing when it's time for Tony Romo to come back?
I don't think you can take him out. I think it's going to hurt his confidence more than anything. I mean, he has control of this offense. He has everyone playing well, and like Dez not even in the lineup, which is like people are forgetting this. Their biggest threat is not in the lineup.
Yeah.
And he's still doing this with Cole Beasley, 38-year-old Jason Witten, and a rookie running back.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to him.
A pretty monstrous rookie running back.
People forget that Dak was a Heisman candidate at Mississippi State. I mean, he had a top 3 team his last year at Mississippi State. He really balled out there. So he's not a scrub. He's not anyone from nowhere. He's a very good quarterback, played against great competition. But I'm still very surprised how he's been playing. But then again, playing at Lambeau is a different story. I mean, I know it's not December yet, but Lambeau's a tough place to play at.
It is, absolutely. I think that home field advantage is pretty big. And I think that I got to take the Packers in this game to cover those 4 points.
The Packers have not looked like the Packers of 2 years, and I feel like every time we turn the TV on, we expect them to revert to the old Aaron Rodgers, like running timing routes to Cobb and Nelson. And it just hasn't looked the same. Tell me why such a good quarterback is always scattering, running off the pocket. Like, if you're that, like, what's wrong with their offense? It seems like something flawed.
I think it just comes down to how long he's holding the ball because he knows he can get away with it. And you do see kind of Aaron Rodgers, like, have the pocket collapse on him a few times.
It seems like abnormal for like, you see Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, they're not doing that.
They're not doing that.
I mean, they can't do that, but why resort to that when you're such a good pocket passer?
I mean, no one finds receivers downfield like Aaron Rodgers does. I mean, as long as you'll take those licks for those big chunk plays.
Too often, and they're 3-1, so I mean, who knows?
I mean, Jordy Nelson was blanketed last week. He ends up catching a touchdown, but not much else. I thought that was gonna be his breakout game for sure.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I'm on Green Bay.
Yeah, you're on Green Bay.
Completely biased pick, but.
All right, now we head to Sunday Night Football with a matchup from the worst division in the sport. The Indianapolis Colts visit the Houston Texans. What the hell is wrong with Brock Osweiler, and why won't he get DeAndre Hopkins the ball?
So he actually had a touchdown in garbage time.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean shit. I don't know what it is. I mean, like, even last game, he couldn't get the ball to Fuller either. They couldn't establish a run. I mean, they played against Minnesota, so still that game out the window. I mean, Minnesota at home, they're the juggernaut of the NFL right now. Is Minnesota the best team in the NFL? Because I have no reason to think so.
Right now they are.
I mean, there's no way that team is so dominant on defense. And we even seen the side of Sam Bradford. But enough on them. More in Houston. When we talked about this on our last podcast, when Bill O'Brien took over the play calling duties, I thought they would make it a priority to give DeAndre Hopkins the ball. They may have made it a priority, but they have not been successful in doing so.
Yeah.
And that's been very hurtful. When you have Hopkins, Fuller, and Lamar Miller on offense, and you cannot muster up points. But talk about the Colts. I mean, the Colts are no better story.
I can't say anything that I haven't said before. That the Colts somehow scrape out these wins in the fourth quarter with Andrew Luck and making miraculous throws to T.Y. Hilton downfield. They just don't have all the pieces to keep doing this on a consistent basis. Yet somehow you always hear Andrew Luck brings them back again. Andrew Luck brings them back again. It's just I have Andrew Luck as a quarterback, and it's just I don't have points for the first 3 quarters of the game. All of a sudden, I look at him and he has 20. Right. I don't know what he does. I don't know how they do it. It's not a sustainable way to win. But the Texans have the defense. They have the pieces on offense, and they can just learn to put them together. So they should be able to win this game.
Clowney's looked pretty good. I mean, like he hasn't been like amazing, but I've watched some footage of him. Clowney looks pretty good. Obviously, J.J. Watt losing is a big loss for you. But I mean, this is a key game for the division. I mean, whoever's going to win this division, I think wins this game. I think this game tells what the division. This is like a stay away game for me, but I think Houston corrects it at home. I think they have to. Hopkins is too good of a talent to not get the ball. If it's Hopkins or Fuller, they're going to burn the Colts secondary somehow.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm taking Houston as well. Our last game of the week, the New York Jets visit Arizona and the Cardinals. There's no line available on this game yet. You guessed it would be minus 4.5 in favor of the Cardinals. I said minus 5 in favor of the Cardinals. Let's just call it minus 4.5.
So, I mean, we're assuming Carson comes back. I think Carson does. I don't think he misses another week. But these are two like we talk about Carolina and Arizona. Put the Jets in that discussion.
Yeah.
Because when they re-sign Fitzpatrick for a 1-year deal, they're expecting a playoff team. They're 1-4. Arizona's 2-3. These two teams should have made the playoffs.
I think it comes down to the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick is making too many turnovers and the defense is not causing enough. And that's because of the declining play of Darrelle Revis, getting rid of Antonio Cromartie, those young pieces back there. Their pass rush has been great. Their front seven's been great. Their Matt Forte's been awesome. But at the same time, they just can't make plays on offense and can't force turnovers on defense.
And their secondary is officially old. I mean, particularly Revis, but obviously you don't have a young Cromartie there anymore. It's a painful team, and Arizona, you assume they corrected at home. So Fitzgerald's been balling. Floyd's been a disappointment. I mean, he
awful.
He had 0 catches last week. I think he needs to turn it around. I think they do. I think John Brown gets into action. And besides Le'Veon Bell, they have the second best running back in the NFL, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this guy does everything. He's a monster.
They knew he was going to get the ball, and he still went nuts on them.
Right. David Johnson, baby.
So, yeah, I'm taking Arizona. You taking Arizona?
We're assuming like a 4 to 5 line?
Let's say 4.5. Your line, your guess.
Honestly, I think if... So Eric Decker's already announced out. I was just checking that. Yeah, I'm going Arizona.
You're going Arizona?
I think if Decker was in, I could see this to be a Fitzpatrick game where he's like, this comes back, but I think losing Decker is big, and they only really have one option on offense now.
Yeah. So, well, that's it. That's a wrap. That's week 6.
What's the Nux lock? Give me the
Nux lock was Giants -3 over the Ravens.
Oh, right. I'm gonna give you my lock. My lock was terrible last week. So don't remind me.
Cincinnati.
Don't do that. I was so shocked at the Cowboys' offense. I was so shocked.
What's your lock, bro?
I like Denver -3 at San Diego. I think that defense is angry, and that's just Von Miller and his boys to get after it. I don't think they can play well against that team.
All right. Well, that's it. Week 6. Picks in the book. Good luck this week. Keep watching Nik Nak Podcast for more game picks and fantasy football and daily fantasy content. Subscribe. All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Nik Nak Podcast. Subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or Google Play Music.